I'm getting ready to solder, and before I do, I want to make sure that I have everything that I could possibly need handy, because once I start heating everything up, I don't want to be running all over the shop trying to find items. So the first and probably most obvious thing that I'll need is something to heat everything up with. So I've got a blazer torch here. I got this from musicmedic.com, but you can find this in your local hardware store, and it probably will even be the Blazer brand. I really like this one because it's easy to operate. I have another torch, and last semester when I was having students try soldering, some of them didn't even have the grip strength to operate it, so it can be really taxing on your hands. So I like the Blazer because it's really easy. Simply open the nozzle there. You'll hear the gas start to come out, and then you'll ignite the flame just with this really easy thumb button right here. And that makes the fire come out. To turn it off, just release the thumb button, and then close the nozzle. And that's all there is to that. I've got my fuel here for filling it up. Doesn't have to be Zippo brand, it can be any brand as long as it's butane fuel. And they will pretty much all look like this. And almost every torch, whether it's Blazer brand or not, will have a place to get the gas in on the underside. And you will simply put those together and push down. And the gas will start going in. Once it's completely full, it will like kick back. I usually don't fill it all the way up because over time, if I don't solder anything for the next few weeks, the gas will evaporate, so it's just a waste of resources. So I try to only put a little bit of gas in at a time, just so I want the tank as close to empty as possible when I'm done soldering, just so we're not being wasteful. I've got my flux. Flux is one of the things that's going to make the solder move. We'll talk more about that when I actually start soldering it. It comes in liquid and paste form. I prefer the paste form because it's less acidic, so it will do less damage to the finish of the instrument, and also I can pre-flux things. If it's liquid, you pretty much have to get everything all set up and clamped together before you can add the flux. With paste, I can just spread it right on whatever I'm going to solder beforehand. I've, of course, got the solder itself. This is 6337. That's how much lead and tin is in this one. They make lots and lots of different types of solder. This is my favorite one for general use for band instruments. I think it's the easiest to work with. It has one of the lower melting points, and it has one of the largest plastic ranges, which is the time where it's not in solid form and it's not fully liquid either, but it's sort of I don't want to say like a gel, but a gel would be closer to what it actually is than solid or liquid. And that's when you can kind of make your final little movements if you need to move something around, if you didn't solder it exactly where you meant for it to go. So for those reasons, I think 6337 is the easiest to use for band instruments. Sometimes you'll see lead-free solder, which is 96.4, which is how much tin and silver is in it. That's super strong. It's about 4 times stronger than this stuff. It's just overkill. You don't need anything that strong for most applications for instrument repair. And then sometimes you'll see 50-50, 50% lead, 50% tin. That's another popular one. It's a little uglier and just it dries like a little kind of a nasty gray color, so I don't like that as much. So 6337 is usually my recommendation for instrument repair. Not necessary, but I have a tungsten pick. I probably won't end up using it, but I like this because tungsten melts at about 1200 degrees Celsius, or about 4 times hotter than I'm going to be getting anything today. So if I need to like poke something around or move it, I don't have to worry about my poker melting. So I like to have a tungsten pick on hand. I just got a set of Nipex plier wrench there in case I need to grab anything or shift anything around. Got denatured alcohol, which I'm going to use to just clean everything up. Once I get everything clamped in place, it's going to be the very last thing I do to make it clean, because the cleaner it is, the easier the solder is going to flow. I've got blue towels and Q-tips. Both of those are just for cleaning up any excess solder. And let's see, I've got plain old water right here, just in case I need to rapidly cool anything down. Just water in a squirt bottle. It's actually just an old mouthpiece spray bottle. And of course, for safety purposes, I have my safety goggles ready to go.